I won't show them.
They're showing us all now. You're live.
We got donuts. It doesn't want to play. Good morning. Welcome to Natasha Makes. Press all the buttons. It didn't want to play. Jim's going, you're live. I'm like, I know, but it doesn't want to play. I was pressing buttons.
We were just getting the donuts of death, weren't we?
Donuts of death. Or where it just goes round and round.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it that. Always. The donuts of death. I don't know, I've just turned my phone off. I'm all discombobbled now. Good morning. How are you? I am apparently in a bit of a tiz this morning. Goodness. I don't know where the last half hour went.
No, it
was
just
9:30. And then it wasn't. Anyway, it's block of the month time. Yay! We've got Jane here. She's waiting in the wings. I'm so lost now as to how close you can be to people. I don't know if it's okay for you to stand there or if you have to stay over. I just don't know. So we'll play it safe, shall we?
Yeah.
We don't need these on here.
Are those yesterday's?
Yeah, no, well, yeah, they were. But I'm just giggling because, you know when you have an item and you don't know what it is and you're searching for it? So I just did a general search. And we just needed little bags to put the seed beads and the new little buttons that have arrived for the House of Xander toys. I don't know what these bags are called. And Gemma and I both sat there and went, oh, you know, they're like the drug dealer bags.
Put drug dealer bags in.
And that was what I searched. It came up. I was like, bingo!
Caveat on that we only know from watching telly.
Oh no, only from watching TV, not like from personal whatever. Gemma's like, you can't go saying that. I'm like, no. But that's what they always dish it out in, don't they? And when, you know,
on the telly.
On the telly.
Tiny
On the
bags.
telly, tiny weeny bags. But that gosh, she's worried now. She's worried that we're tarnishing her reputation. On the telly. Who have we got with us this morning? Let's change the subject completely and give Gemma a bit of relaxation. Good morning, Jackie and Shirley and Sharon. How did we go from good morning to drugs? I don't know. Morning Norma, morning Rona, morning Rebecca, morning Elizabeth, morning Colette and morning Yvonne. Hi Heather and Lucy. Good morning and hello and hello.
Hello.
And Margaret, good morning. Already got my Zappy dots and husband doesn't know it yet. Shh. But he has bought me a 24-inch silver chain and mount thing. He's a good one, isn't he? He's a good one. So for those of you that are wondering what on earth Margaret's talking about, Margaret, you got in quick because we've only got 2 of those and I think they have both gone. So well done to you on that. So basically, do you remember I did the Philip Jacobs interview on May Bank holiday?
Yeah.
The month before that, and I did leave it a whole month because stuff from America can be tricky. I bought a load of Philip Jacobs knick-knackery, that's what I'm going to call it, from Zappy Dots in the States. Anyway, it arrived 2 days ago. Yeah, so completely missed the window of opportunity for the interview. It wasn't their fault, to be fair. I will be fair, it wasn't their fault. No. The postal service did not do its very best. That's what I'm going to say. But for those of you that wonder what on earth we're talking about, I'm going to show you the Zappy Dots. Also, I had a moment of madness. And do you like my new one? I love him. He's got all of our quilting clips on. He made me laugh.
He's lovely.
So he came home with me. I thought he was rather fab. So that's our hippo offering. He's not for sale, he's just ours. Because it makes me laugh. Good morning to I don't know, I'm struggling to read when my glasses are actually on my head. These are my actual glasses.
The proper ones.
The proper ones, you know, what you get properly tested for. Morning Valerie, morning Natasha, Jane and company. Good morning, morning Myra. I'm here eventually, that's all right. Morning Julie, morning Jane and morning, you'll have GCHQ filling up your searches. It'll come up drug dealer. Do you know it might? I think they listen, don't they? They listen.
They do. They're all
things.
listening all the time.
Yeah. So if they ever, you have a
ready
propeller.
for our fabric stash.
Hippo head. They are very. They are the very best pooers. They spin their tails. I mean, I love that you know that, Lo. I mean, of all people, Lo was going to know.
Yeah.
But I love that. Morning, Karen. Morning, Anne. Morning, Fiona. Morning, Mavis. And morning, Julia and Jill and Ella. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. So, Block of the Month and Zappy Dots. And we've got Half Me to Heavens to show you that launch tomorrow. And also, Jane and I had an idea. We'll tell you about our idea in a minute. Right, Zappy Dots. I'm going to be honest, it's taken, hang on, March, April, May, June, July. It's 4 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's taken 4 months.
It's worth waiting for.
Well, they are. They're really, really gorgeous. But I just wouldn't pin your hopes on us being able to get many more quickly. So basically, if you like what you see, look, this is having an absolute fit this morning, isn't it? Get it, because who knows when it'll be there again. Let's show you this here. Da, 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 da. This is just one of each, so I'm going to whiz through. And I'm going to put this, I keep thinking the iron's on, Jane, that's why I'm being really cautious, but it's not actually on.
That's good.
Jackie's looking forward to today's fun. Yes. Right, here we go. This on my, you can see it, let me explain. So this is, there we go. This, let me take it off, is well, they're basically magnets, but it means that you can put your pins and things on it. They will hold 4 pounds of weight.
That's a lot of weight.
It is a lot of weight. That's what it says on their website, right? So it could be that. It could be, oh, hang on, you've moved my trolley.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. No, well, it's your turn, isn't it? Could be some scissors on there for you. Hang on. There we are. Could be some scissors that you're holding on there. I don't know what it is, but and so these come in either beautiful tins like that, and this is the other thing, they couldn't complete our whole order because they sent it once and it never arrived, so I had to send it again. So we didn't. So this is just to give you a little idea. You've got your magnet and then you can put all your needles and your pins on. But I just thought it was lovely. I'd have a few in there. Whoops. Because you see, then I'm going to keep mine in there. And then you've got a piece of jewellery, should you wish, because these, oh no, I need that. I need that one because that goes in there. These are interchangeable with these, so you can have them as a necklace. Because they are so beautiful. And I've got a gunmetal finish, and I've got, oh look, this is the silver finish. And so it'll just slot into there. Let me just take mine off again and I'll pop that into there to show you there. So then you'd have, that's a Philip Jacobs Ming Dynasty. Yeah. So you see, that would be your pendant then. So they're interchangeable, but also a handy magnet. And so we've got a silver finish. We've got a gunmetal finish. Yeah, just a slightly darker one. They are your two options of that. We also have the zingers that they fit onto. These are cool. I like these.
These are nice.
So these you can either have on your key ring, or you can clip it onto your personage. But they, whee!
You put your keys on there, or your scissors, or
well, you can.
If you work somewhere where you need a pass, you could put your pass on it.
So you can either have it as a thing that looks rather lovely, and that's just incredibly useful. You see, that would clip onto your clothes, wouldn't it, as well?
Yeah.
So you could then, or your fabric or whatever it is, you could then clip it on whatever and then know where your needles and scissors or whatever were going to be. They're just a bit of fun. I've not seen anything like this in the UK. So I bought you a few things that you can mix and match your little things with. We have, like I say, we've got some of these. Now, we had a couple of complete sets where that's what it looks like on the chain, and these came from America, so they are, they were imported and whatnot, and they are incredible quality. I wanted to also do an affordable one, so we've got the snake chain, isn't it, these are called. This is sterling silver. This is 925. That's 925 parts of silver per 1,000. Right. That's how that's worked out. But this one is, which I rather like. It's like a, you know, like the dog collar, dog chain things.
Like the balls, isn't it?
Which they have, you know, for the dog tags.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. This one is silver plated. So again, it's, look, there's your 925 there. But that one is silver plated. And then this one's pretty and delicate. So that I've left it so that you can pick your chain.
That's really pretty, that one.
You know, they're 20-inch chains. So, oh yeah, so this one will be yours, Margaret. Margaret's got the 24-inch one, but that's now gone. So yeah, we've got a few of those so that you could mix and match. So then you'd pick, you know, which one of those you wanted, and then which one of these you want. So let's have a look at our options. We have got here. Now, I mean, it's called contrast tree fungi, but I think, you know, that it's rather beautiful.
It's really soft and delicate.
It's really gorgeous. Now, in that, because that was, that's the same one in there. There we are. But also, we've got a needle nanny as well. Now, needle nannies are slightly different. They don't work with the interchangeable jewellery zinger things and whatnot. What these do is they've got a magnet on the back, so they come in 2 pieces, and then you can put them one either side of your clothing or whatever. And again, you can put your scissors on there, or your needles or whatever, or just on your fabric that you're stitching on, or if you're working on a hoop, put it either side of your hoop.
Yeah, I see a lot of quilters and hand embroiderers using those when they've got their work, because they put them, you can move them around your work, so wherever you're working, you've then got somewhere just to rest your needle while you
really
just put it down.
Useful, really useful. If you just love it as, now these aren't magnetic, this is a keychain, so this is basically, if you want a bit of Philip Jacobs, as they're called scissor fobs, but they also work beautifully as there's your scissor fobs. And then, you know, especially if you're going into a workshop environment, you'd know they're yours and you know where you'll find them.
Yeah, that's really good.
Or just a nice key ring.
Yeah, just make your scissors look nice.
Just make your scissors look lovely. So that's what those are in that colourway. We also have, I mean, these are nice little stocking fillers, aren't they? That's your brassica needle tin, magnetic needle tin, because you've got your magnetic-y thing in there. You can also buy the green brassica separately as a thing for your jewellery, or we've got them again as your needle nanny or your fobs, scissor fobs, whichever you wish.
Yeah, lovely secret Santa for your sewing guild,
Yeah,
wasn't they?
absolutely. You know, this is your agate in green. Or is it agate in blue? I can't remember. Agate. Let's just call it agate. Philip Jacobs agate. Anyway, so you get another one of those in there. Keep your needle on. So you don't have to have it as jewellery. Like, you can just have it as a tin where all your needles are and they stick to there, so they're not all rattling around all over the shop. It is green agate. There we go. Because you can buy them individually, or again, you can have it as your needle nanny. You can have it, you've guessed it, key fobs, scissor fobs. That's what they're actually called, scissor fobs. These ones aren't magnetic. The scissor fobs are not magnetic, just so that you know. You just attach them to your sknizzers. Right, these, you can see this one. This one is, take that with me. Now, other colourway is the blue dragon and peony. So this is the one that I've got on. I love this. We didn't have much of this fabric, but I absolutely loved it when we had it. It was ages ago. No needle nanny, and then again, your scissor fobs / key rings there. We're getting there, we're getting there. And then your yellow Ming embroidery. I might be having one of these.
I love that one. That's
I love it. Do you know what? I don't normally do yellow, but I made myself a scarf out of that. I absolutely love it. I've just bought another scarf head thing in it. I just adore it. So there's your needle nanny again, and again your scissor fobs. There we go. So we've got all of those, and we've got In that one, we've also got the tin as well. And that has got the Ming blue dragon in there. And then you've got your gold feathers. So if you want, again, to be interchanging. Margaret, which ones are you going to interchange with on your chain? Ooh, decisions. That one, again, is your needle nanny. Remember, those don't work with the jewellery. These ones are the interchangeable ones for that. But if you love the feathers, I love the feathers, especially in this summer colourway. And again, just beautiful, beautiful gifts.
Yeah, lovely.
To yourself or other people. So there we go. That one's mine. I'm not giving that back to anyone. So there we are. Let us know what you think. But these are the 3 chain options that we've got for you now that the other ones have gone. There we go. I'm going to pop that. I'm going to pop that across to you, Jane.
Thanks.
You lucky devil. Right, okay. Would you like to see our half meter heavens? Yeah. Remember, these go live tomorrow. A few little twists in these today for you. Oh, these are my Zappy Dot Lidigans. Look at these, aren't they fun? They're the chips. The Brandon Mabley chips.
Yes.
So when these arrived, we had a supplier in, and the supplier and I were sat in the sitting room, and he was on the sofa, and there's like a little passageway behind the sofa, isn't there, cut through to the kitchen, and Gemma walked past, like weird walking past. I didn't really take much notice, and didn't really think anything of it. And then she sort of came into the sitting room, lunging. It's like, and she put these on. Now these are for my height.
Yes.
And as we all know, Gemma is not my height. So she just came in. It's a good job that our supplier doesn't scare easy. No. Because he's just like, this is totally normal behaviour with Gemma lunging in a pair of rather natty leggings. But it was all good. He took it all in very good spirit, I felt. Righty-ho, let's have a look at these. Now, this is going to be a half metre Heaven Plus because you get this. These are always cut longer. These are cut in 60 centimetre panels. It is, of course, your Lisa Chandler project panel / absolutely beautiful. We've made bags with this, and we've got it with paprika, or should you wish, sage. I picked up chartreuse by mistake. I went, don't you mean this, Jane? Jane was like, no, sage. Okay then. But if you happen to go for both, you know, yes. So that is that. And again, I've got a handful of each. I don't know what these were cut for, but they were overcut for something. So they were just sat on the shelves. Yeah. And in the interest of tidying up before our warehouse move, I was like, do you know, we'll just half metre Heaven them. But because of that extra 4 inches, they do have to go as half metre Heaven pluses, but you are getting a bargain for sure. I've got one of these. This was the last one on the bolt. There we go. That is your Lisa Chandler. This is floral in red, green and ivory, I think. I've put it with cardinal, but again, one of those. Now this was left over from something, and I've got like 6. But this is agate. How gorgeous is that?
It's beautiful, isn't it?
No, it's not agate at all. I'm lying. Geodes.
Geodes.
But look at the apple with that.
Just zings those edges, doesn't it?
It does. Just be aware, in our light box, we can never get that green to zing.
No.
It always flattens.
It is a zingy green, it's lovely.
But as soon as you pop it with that, you'll see how it zings. Now, the peony in red, again, I've only got a handful of these. I've only got like 3 of those. But there we go. Do have a good rummage around, by the way, the half metre Heavens, because there's some beauts in there. This is your rose and hydrangea. I've put it with sangria.
Had to be done.
Well, rude not to, especially as sangria is one of our new colours. Now, this is an artist I was unaware of, but she designs for Cloud9. I'm going overhead, Jane. Nothing for it. I'm going overhead. This is organic cotton. I try and find you interesting stuff for your half metre Heavens.
I love that fabric. It's just so pretty.
It's so pretty. And then our new buttermilk with it. How utterly gorgeous is that?
It's really soft and gentle, and it's a lovely fabric. It's just really nice.
So this is from Cloud9. It's 100% organic cotton with 1/2 metre of buttercup. £9.99, people. £9.99. We can't do any better than that. Well, we really can't. We really can't. Really cannot. So that's that. Now we've got a couple of slightly different things in here as well. Because it occurred to me that it's really hard when we have so much CAFE listed to match what would go with what. Like you just can't do it on a computer screen. It's really hard. But as I was walking past one of our CAFE shelves, we've got a few now, it did occur to me that there were some fabrics that just needed to go together.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't be able to match online. I give you the cactus flower with, I mean, if ever there was a fabric, flower dot and cactus flower,
Yeah, those
they
two
need
go
to
well
go together. They need to go together. You've got all the blues that are in here. You've got this, which is in there. You've got everything, the greens that are just beautiful. Now, this should be $15.90, these two together. $13.99.
Amazing.
$13.99, and I'm calling them my delightful duos.
Nice.
And again, just in the interest, I had a handful of those left on a bolt, and as I walked past it, caught my eye with this, and I was like, yes, yes. But it's also just to help you out, build your stash, and give you some ideas of colourways so that you know that when you're buying, it's a safe buy, isn't it? Because you know that you are taking into your stash 2 colours that go together.
Yes.
In that vein, then.
I love this.
I love it too. I really love it. What about this? Oh, yes. Now, what do you see in that? Because there's 2 shades of pink here, which are the exact shades of pink round there and in there. But you've got the green tips in there. You've even got this sort of goldy colour that's in this. And you've got the blue that's, just yes. Just yes.
You can see a bag with that checked one at the bottom with the flowers, and then the handles and the check as well.
Or even if, you know, when we did one yesterday, didn't we? And I said, because we've used quite a sturdy interfacing, you know, you end up with a faux border around the top, of faux binding. Yeah. Imagine a bag, you know, just that as your main body of the bag, with that as your lining and a little bit of faux.
That showing at the top.
It'd be amazing. Or like you say, the handles.
Yeah.
Just needs to be done, doesn't it? Do you know what maybe we should do? I'm going to do a pattern for just a really plain bag that shows off these fabrics, and we'll do it so that you can make it with a 1/2 metre. We'll do it with like a Starville fix, so it's it proper stands out, and we'll do that, Jane. We will.
It's a plan.
Well, you see, and then we'll just do duos, and that would be amazing, and you'll end up with a bag for like, you know, whatever. And then 1/2 metre Heaven Pluses was, well, so yeah, I got involved with Moda this morning.
Yeah.
So this is your William Morris Strawberry Thief, but just look at the Moda Grunge Seeing Stars in tan was made for it. It's got all of the beiges from here.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of grey in there that just pulls out that little bit of light blue in the...
Hang on, Jane. I'm going to bring it in on a close-up. What's going on today? There we go. And switch. No! What's going on? Ah! There we are. So can you see? That little bit there just goes, yes. It's genius.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
It works lovely. Works
now,
really nicely.
I said to Jane this morning, is this too much? Jane went, no. Literally, that she went, no. I don't know how many of you seen. We have got so many different shades now of brassica because I
love the brassica.
heart it. And how beautiful is that? I tell you what, the photo on our website does not do this fabric
No,
justice.
it doesn't do it, does it?
You just
'Cause it's
can't.
the colours in there are just amazing.
Oh, the warmth in here. And then I was like, oh, hang on a minute. Tangerine Seeing Stars from Moda. You're a bit special to go with that. And it was just like,
It's
yeah.
like it's been made for it. It's really strange how these Moda grunges work so beautifully with the K fabric.
But they seriously do, don't they?
Yeah, because they seem to pull the same colours through them, which is amazing.
You see, I don't know, you see again, even on our cameras, I don't know if you can see just how it's an exact match. And something like this would normally be so hard to match, wouldn't it, Jane? We'd be
Yeah,
scratching
it
our
would be.
heads going, well, we'd go with orange, wouldn't we, or something
Yeah.
like that, or maybe pick out a green.
Or we
if
might be really safe and stick black on it.
Yeah.
Because it's got that bit of black in the background, but sometimes you just need to zing it with an orange.
And then another delightful duo.
Oh, this is
Again,
a beautiful
brassica.
colourway of brassica.
Do check out our brassicas because oh, what a lovely
Mm,
pair
brilliant.
of brassicas. But we do have some beautiful brassicas. And also we have an awful lot of the Aboriginal dot.
We've got all the colourways, have we?
We've got
'Cause
all
I
the
think-
colourways of the Aboriginal dot. It's my thing because Cave's like, use this instead of a plain.
Yeah.
Use your Aboriginal dot instead of a plain because from a distance it's got a little bit of interest but it's not too heavy. And we were talking about that, him and I, on Friday. Gosh, how is that? Oh, half a week away. Look at that. This is it in Ocean, but I mean, right?
It just picks the colours beautifully, doesn't it? Blends really
Doesn't
nicely.
it? So that is another KFC delightful duo. Sounds like you're going to get chicken and chips, isn't it? It's not. K Facet Collective, of course, this is a Philip Jacobs one.
Better for your waistline.
Which, you know what, it is, and it makes you happy. It doesn't make you feel ill afterwards. And of course, you know, these go with all the Zappy dot stuff. You could make yourself something fabulous with that, and then match with all the Zappy dots
Oh yeah.
that you've got in this, because we've got it in the brassica, haven't we?
Yeah.
Boom, I've peaked. Right, so the next thing to tell you, and I know that Gemma was going to load this for us this morning, and I'm not sure if she's done it yet because I sort of threw it at her this morning, and she's like, "You're doing what now?" So I'm cutting my hours at the craft store because we're so busy here. We're really busy here, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
And
It's
the
getting
kids need
bigger and
me,
bigger. It's
and
amazing.
you know, so you know, I'm going down to one day a month, and so that, and of course there's me. Oh, great, I'm going to have loads more time. Let's put in another show. Let's do that. But I didn't just want to put in another show. What I wanted to do, and this was kind of inspired by Ali and Lo,
Yes.
actually,
Yeah.
because, and Jane and I had a long conversation about it this morning. What we've seen from our viewers is that you are a really generous bunch, and Ali makes for charity and Lo's done random acts of kindness for her. You know, and we've seen this unfold over the shows, and it has inspired us. And you know, last year we did some charity things and this, that and the other. But what we want to do is put in a regular slot whereby everybody can get involved, and please share the heck out of this on Facebook. This is not a money-making exercise. This is, we will suggest a charity, but you don't have to, you know, if you've got somebody else, then you can gift it to them or whatever. But what we're going to call it Natasha's Pay It Forward project, whereby we basically give you a pattern for free and whatever. So basically the kits will end up coming out to you at cost to us. So, you know, and so the pattern and everything will be for free in there, and we'll just do a show. It'll be in a couple of Thursdays time. It'll just be a quick little show where we can all sit down together and make together. So you buy it in advance, we will ship it, and then when you've made it, you gift it, you give it forward. So the first one that we're going to do, because over lockdown, obviously, there have been those that have been really unfortunate and have been in less than ideal relationships.
Yeah.
You know, and so women's refuges are, well, they're groaning, aren't they? They're struggling.
They've struggled, haven't they? I think most charities have, but I think some have struggled a lot more than others.
And so, and when a woman leaves, they leave with nothing. They take their kids or whatever they need to take with them, and they just go. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, because you wouldn't wish it on anybody, would you?
No.
So we're just going to start off sending you out a 1/2 metre of a cotton and a 1/2 metre of our bamboo and a pattern, so that we can make face wipes, we can make baby bibs, and we can package it beautifully with a bow, and we can send it to someone that needs it. Now, it might be that actually you've got a grandchild or something and you want to give it to them, and that is absolutely fine. But just so long as this is sort of, we want it to be that it gives somebody pleasure. And if that's that it gives you pleasure in making it, great. If it's that you get your friends together and you all sit and you make together, or if it's that it's something like this, which is a really easy make, because the other thing that we want it to do is to bring people together so that you can stitch together. When I was at festival, the thing that really struck me, I was talking to a lady and she said, oh, I've just bought a new sewing machine. So I was really delighted for her. We're talking about what she got. And she said, I haven't been out through lockdown. I live on my own. And, you know, sewing quilts has kept me going. And I thought, gosh, she's not on her own here. There must be so many people that live on their own, and sewing has kept them going. So it occurred to me that if we do this, then it might be that you have a sewing friend that you haven't seen through lockdown that might be on their own, and you might go, hey, shall we spend a Thursday morning together, piece of cake, cup of tea, have a stitch and a natter? And if we can make that a thing, I would love that.
And I think a lot, I know that on my quilting group that I'm part of, we're hoping to get back together again in September.
Yeah.
So it's something that you could take to your Quilters Guild, your sewing group, your knit and natter, whatever,
Yeah.
and you could all do it together. And it's sort
Absolutely.
of, again, we tend to think sewing's quite an insular thing, but actually there's quite a lot of us that are parts of groups, and we've missed it.
Yeah.
We've missed that sewing together and catching up on the gossip and all of that sort of thing. And you know, it's a nice thing to do. And I know a lot of sewing groups do things for charities to raise funds either for their group or for their local charity or whatever.
So this is it. So we've got some ideas of going forward. We'll do one a month. What we would like to have happen. We were certainly talking about doing little blankets for the ICU babies. We'd like to do quilts for the Dogs Trust and things like that, because dogs will get
Cats protection as well.
Cats protection. Whether you're a dog or a cat person, but if people when they view can see them with a quilt, they can imagine them more in their home setting. And this was what they found: they tend to get adopted quicker because people can imagine them in their own homes. So these are certain things that we want to do, and so we will, it's not a matter of it being a choice of fabrics. We will just send it to you, because otherwise it's going to get complicated.
Yeah, you'll just get you'll get it style,
and then and then you can pay. Does that sound like an idea? Would you be up for that? So the first one would just be $9.99.
Yeah,
$9.99 and then we'll do it in a couple of Thursdays' time. SJ will tell everybody about it. With our marketing, so that you'll get to hear about it. But that was the idea. And if you've got any other ideas as to what you would like to see made going forwards, then but it's like I say, this is a feel good thing, not a money making thing.
Yeah, because
you give us so much, and we'd like to do that. So that's the idea anyway. Let us know what you think. Susie says it's a fab idea. I hope she's talking about that. Elizabeth said yes, this is a wonderful idea, Natasha. There we go. Lisa would like to donate a pattern if that's okay. We would love that, Lisa. Absolutely. And Julia wants the hippo. No, it's fine. Do we sell them? Let me see if I can source some. But I just thought it's just a way to bring people together, isn't it? And if you can spread the word, because we can always get more fabric in. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like we've always got fabric.
We've always got fabric.
So spread the word, and let's make this a thing that is actually going to make the difference. And there might be some people that go, oh, great, we'll get cheap fabric. Well,
you might have had a young couple that have moved in up the road from you during the lockdown. They've had a baby, and you haven't had a chance to say hello yet. So, you know, make them a bib, take it round.
Yeah.
It's your icebreaker, if you like, something to get the conversation going and get to know people.
Absolutely. You know, and whether it is, you know, the kids down the road that you can see, do you know what? As a mum, if there was a couple that might go, oh, we'll watch the kids for half an hour.
Yeah.
You know, if they they just got to know you, because there are places, aren't there, in America where the old people's home have a nursery.
Yeah.
And the two different age spectrums, and the kids learn from the older people, and the older people stay young with it. I just think that's beautiful. I wish we did it in this country, and I don't know that we do. I mean, you know, I'm not sure that Freddie would be ideal. Can you imagine him trying to sit on somebody's lap? You know, if they've got osteoporosis, he'd snap their legs. But, you know, the idea is beautiful. And because
I think the interaction between the children and the older people is lovely, because not all children have access to grandparents. The grandparents may no longer be here, but it's
also it's
that
a time
sort of
thing.
Generational thing, that knowledge and that, you know, things that grandparents age group people know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the stories.
Yeah.
And the stories. Yeah. And also, like, when my mum and dad come to stay, Freddie will spend hours playing chess and Ludo and all sorts of card games with my dad. Now, I don't have time to sit down and play a game of chess because it takes forever. And I don't have that time, but my dad does when he's here.
I think this is what grandparents
And this would be
have,
it. Maybe I need to farm Freddie off to an old people's home to go and play chess with people. Maybe that's it.
Might work.
We'd love that.
He'd love it.
He would love it. He really would, and they could tell him stories. He loves a good story. Anyway, we digress. Jane, come and do your block of the month.
Yeah.
Come on.
We got all excited about that.
Oh, hang on, I need...
You need your iPad.
I do need my iPad. I can't do the show without it. Oh, Jane.
And I wouldn't know which buttons to press, so we'd be in a right pickle then, wouldn't we? That'd be hilarious.
Well, you know.
Yes, it could be really good fun. Good morning, everybody. We've got sunshine here. It's beautiful outside. Oh, it was dark this morning when I got up. I was really like, oh no, don't start being dark already. I got so used to it having light mornings. It was a bit of a shock this morning when it was dark. Doesn't give you the oomph, does it, to get up and get going when it's dark?
No, it's just on the change, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, and you know, I love him. He's so lovely.
Oh, here we go. Jackie said, what a fantastic idea. I was at a festival of quilts and found a lady who organises quilts for the homeless and young persons leaving care.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's another good one, isn't it?
I mean, there's siblings together, there's the liners quilts, there's lots of other projects. I mean,
because your stretch 9 patch that we did with a half metre heaven.
Yeah.
Something like that for, like you say, kids leaving.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah.
Foster care, you know, the Liners Quilt Project, I think there's many people that are familiar with that. They give quilts to children that are in care or have additional needs. And then there's the Siblings Together, and they give quilts to siblings that are in foster care, and sometimes they aren't able to stay together. So they get a quilt each that, you know, then they know that their siblings got a quilt, and it's just lovely things that people do for charity, to raise sometimes to raise funds and sometimes just to give back. You know, you use your quilt, your stash up. You've got fabrics that you know, sometimes we've got fabrics, haven't we? We bought them because we like them, but we don't really know what to do with them.
Yeah, maybe they don't suit our home decor or whatever, but we just love them. Ali says that through her work, she used to work in the police. I've visited women's refuges. They literally have the clothes they stand in. It's such a traumatic event, not only in their lives, but those with children, trying to maintain a normal life for the children.
Yeah.
Very sad. Bags and lady essentials are always well received as well. Count me in. Well, that's an easy thing to do. We can make makeup bags, can't we? We can do all of that kind of thing.
Yeah. And then you can fill them with whatever you feel that you'd like to give.
At Sewing Quarter, you know, I used to take any scraps or whatever, and I used to make dog quilts, but I also used to make up little bags and stuff. And then wherever I could pick up samples of things, and I used to sell Neil's Yard.
We've all been into the department store, haven't they, where they give you out a sample of this and a bit of that. Yeah, and you know, they can all go into a
I used to buy
bag.
the sample packs for Neil's yard and just stuff those in and make them really nice. My sister runs a hairband. My sister-in-law runs a hairband company, so I used to put hairbands and hairbrushes. Like you know.
Yeah, because they haven't got a toothbrush,
Like literally
so it's
nothing.
like nothing.
So yeah, okay. So we'll deal with this. There we go. So I'll ask Gemma to put a thing in here as soon as she's got that loaded, and then we can start getting those out with your orders for you. So when you get a random half meter of fabric
and a pattern in
and a half meter of whatever. There we go.
What we're doing.
There we go. All
On
right.
that lovely note, shall we get on with the block of the month?
Yep.
Because we're all enthused with this idea now, aren't we?
Yep.
We've got it all. We're doing this one. This block here. It's a Sawtooth star, but it's a slight variation on the Sawtooth star. So we're going to do flying geese and half square triangles, and then we'll do the frame. So we'll start with the flying geese, and we're going to do a different fabric on each corner, and the flying geese is the white, the background fabric. So I'm doing the teal version because I think Natasha would like the teal version in her life.
Oh,
so
you know me too
the
well.
teal one. So we've got 4.5 by 2.5 inch rectangles, and we've got 2.5 inch squares, and we're going to do 2 colourways the same. So we're making 2 flying geese the same way. So this is fabric D and fabric E for you that are doing it in different colourways. We're going to mark the diagonal on the square from corner to corner. And as I always say, start in the middle and work outwards. It's not so bad when you've got a felt tip marker like this one. This is the wash away marker, which is quite good for marking your quilt with, because you can just spritz it with water and it disappears. But we don't have to worry about that because we're doing it on the wrong side of our fabric. I'll do it on the other 2 squares while I'm here. And we can do a bit of chain piecing as well, because we're doing 2 at a time, so we might as well do them all in one go. I'm just going to make sure the needle's in the middle of my machine, because we're going to sew on the line on these ones, and you want your diagonal line facing in towards the middle of your rectangle. So put them on the same side, on the left hand side, and you want the line facing in towards the middle, and we're going to sew on the line on these ones.
On the line. On the line.
And as I say, we can chain piece these. They'll chain piece together quite nicely.
Lovely, lovely. Oh, yeah, that threw me yesterday as well, Jen. I'd completely forgotten it lifts its own foot because I've got it set on that. There you go, Jen.
So we're going to then trim 1/4 inch away from the middle. So we're basically cutting the corner off. So we're cutting that corner off there and that corner off on that side. And then we want to press those triangles that we've created now back to reform the rectangle shape.
Is this a time for the old flatter?
Yes. Prepare all your fabric first with your best press, your flatter, whatever. It does make life a lot easier for you with cutting and pressing.
We're block 3, aren't we, with this today?
This is block 3.
Yeah. Gosh, how time is flying.
So we're going to put the fabric E square across the corner. It's all written in your instructions, so if I'm telling you the wrong number, don't listen to me, read your instructions, because I get my E's and my F's and my G's all muddled up. But,
that's all right.
Not quite as much as my left and my right, but nearly. Lower presser foot. Do I need to press the button? Oh, no, it's done. No, it isn't. There we go. Press the button. Remember, different machine, just a different thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's remembering.
Yeah, do you know what? I hadn't used this one for ages because I've been on the NX7 or the Beast,
Yeah.
and so to bring out the DX, it's a lovely machine.
It is a beautiful
It's a cracking machine.
It's a great machine for workshops, I think.
Yes.
Because it's a nice weight. It's got and it's got enough stitching on it to do, you know, what you need to do when you go to a workshop, which is just generally a straight stitch. So we've got those ones on, and again we're just going to trim that corner off. And again the diagonal line was facing in towards the middle. And they will overlap in the middle, and they need to. So don't worry that your square's too big and you've done it wrong. They need to overlap. That's your seam allowance. You can see there that just overlaps there slightly, and that's your seam allowance.
Don't trim it off.
Yeah, don't think, oh no, I've done it wrong, and trim it down. If you do that, you'll lose the point of your flying geese when you come. So that's your seam allowance there. And then we're going to do the same principle again, but we've got, so that's D and E, that's F, and then that's F, and that's G. Told you I'd get muddled up.
Yeah.
So we're going to do two of those the same. And again, we're marking the diagonal line on there. Now, these are 2.5 inch squares. If you wanted to, you know, we've got these scraps that we're cutting off. If you wanted to, you could mark a 1/2 inch from the marked line that you're doing down the middle. And I'll do the diagonal line that we need first, and then I'll go back and do that. And then if you sew on both of those lines, you'll end up with your half square triangles that you can put in your use those later tub that we all have. Because sometimes you just, you know, a scrap like that, just can't quite bear to throw that away. But you may not do anything with it when it's just two triangles like that. But what you can do, if you mark the 1/2 inch past that line, so if you place your ruler on the line that you've marked and then mark 1/2 inch,
It goes.
there we are. So we can pop, again, we want to make sure that our diagonal line is facing in towards the middle, and that extra line I've done is going on that corner that we're going to cut off. So we don't want it on this side because it won't work if we do that. So we've got two pieces there, diagonal line facing into the middle, and that extra line I've sewn on there. And again, we can chain piece that.
Oh, this is good. Lots of you. Yeah, Alison saying what a fantastic idea. She'd really like to take part. Good, 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 good. Rebecca's up for it. Heather's up for it. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Yes, Lo, you do, and that's a really good idea. Linda says it's a lovely idea. Elizabeth, I was in a local group sewing for the NHS. It was astonishing what we got through.
Yeah, I think that was, I mean, I did it as well. I did scrub bags.
Yeah.
Not up to sewing scrubs, but I did scrub bags. And there was a group of us that just got together and did it, and it was just lovely. We were all sewing at home, but then, you know, one of us was a coordinator, and then they took them to the hospital, and they were really grateful for the scrub bags, I think.
What Elizabeth was saying, cutters that couldn't sew were invaluable.
Yeah.
And she's made some lovely friends from it.
And I was working at the curtain shop at the time, and the lady that ran the curtain shop, she was just donating the fabric. She just, you know, she said, that my part I can do is I'll donate the fabric, and it was just lovely.
Well, there's all sorts of little things,
Yeah.
but those little things add up, don't they?
They
Julia
do.
says, I'm a reading volunteer. Book bags would be great.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it, isn't it? You know, and then maybe you can donate some to your local library or something, and they
This
could
is
have
it,
a
and the
raffle
book
or
cushions
something.
or
Yeah,
those
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of things. They just work beautifully. So those pieces there, I've cut exactly the same way. I've done my 1/4 inch seam like I did on these ones.
Oh, hang on, let me just
But
switch
that's
the camera.
given me those two half square triangles there. They're surplus to what we're going to use the block for, but you know, you can put those, you're more likely to use those than you are those, because they'll get separated. You won't know what they are or where they've come from, and they'll be too small really to do anything with, and they just end up filling up your bag until eventually you have a mad moment of throwing things out and they just get chucked.
No. What you should do is
Use
stick it
them as
onto your quilter's grid.
Quilter's grid, yeah. And you can also use them for stuffing toys and dog beds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we'll put the other square on the opposite side, and again making sure that the main line that we want to do is going from the top into towards the middle, and that second line is on the on that corner that we're going to cut off.
I think there are some lovely ideas coming through here, so I think we'll make a note of them, and see.
There's
what
so
we
many
can
people
do.
that are busily, beavering away, making things at home that some of us don't know about.
Yeah.
I think it's a lovely way of sharing our love of sewing and creating things.
Well, Lo says that she does she makes a cable tidy thing. Well, there's no reason. She showed me them, and we can happily write up that pattern.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah, we're going to be keeping it as straightforward and
I think that's
as
the thing. It's
simple
not
as-
to make
Yeah,
it's
because-
difficult, so that no one is taken out, no one's alienated for it. It's meant to be something to bring people together, not
Yeah.
have people go, I can't do that.
Yeah, not to overphase people and also not to make it like you've put, and I don't mean this, don't take this the wrong way, because you can put as much time as you like in, but it's not going to have taken you months and months to make something to give to them to raffle, and they only raise £20 with it, and you think, I've
The fabric
spent-
cost me
I've-
3 times
yeah.
that amount. Yeah.
It's sometimes, and we don't do it for that. We do it to give because we like giving and we want them to raise money, and any money raised is better than nothing. But sometimes you think, oh.
But also, this could be, this could also be maybe something that you make with your grandkids, and and explain to them what you're doing.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yes, encouraging young sewers. This is something else
Yeah.
I'm quite passionate about, is passing our skills on, because they don't teach it in school anymore.
No.
Completely.
So if you get it and you just do that, that's absolutely fine too.
Yeah.
And then they have something that they take away from it that they feel really good about. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just have it to do, basically to pass on some sort of joy somewhere. That's what it's for.
Right, so we're going to do half square triangles now, and these are slightly different in so much as we're using the two colours. So we've actually got G and D together, and we've got E and F together. Yes, that's right, E and F together. D
One
and
day
G.
you'll do something where you just call it by the colour.
Yeah.
The pink one and the blue one.
Yeah, because we've got all these coloured options that you can, because if anybody's just joining us and isn't aware of the block of the month, we've got 5 colour options in this. We do it in a reds and pinks, which we've tried to match to the grunges that I used for that one. We've got a zesty one, which is all oranges, and it's got a lime in it.
It's got a what?
Of lime. It's like a squeeze of lime in it.
You sound like one of those citronella collars that
Yeah.
you've got the dogs to stop and barking.
And we've got purple, teal and blue. So you can buy the full kit, or you can buy it block by block, whichever works for you.
So buying it block by block basically means that it works out slightly more expensive over the long run, but it
Well, you
spreads
get a
the
little bit
cost,
more
but you do
fabric
get
as
more
well.
fabric. Whereas if you buy the kit, then you've got exactly what you need for
Yeah.
the kit. So it depends which way works for you. Is we try and do it to suit everyone. Dolly says, hi Natasha and Jane, what a lovely idea. I don't like going out much, so it would be like joining a club, so it would be good for me also. Well, this
Yeah.
is why we thought we'd get organised, and I'll tell you about it now. I mean, I've just dropped this on poor Gemma and SJ going, we're doing what now? What? And they're just frantically trying to keep up.
Natasha and I are terrible because we get this an idea and we're like, oh yeah, we could do this and we could do that. And, and we're like really enthused. By the time Gemma comes in, we're like, yeah, we're going to do this. And she's like, what?
What? What? Yeah, you see, if she'd been here at 7, she'd know all about it. All about, mind you, she didn't leave till 7 last night,
I was
bless
going
her.
to say she was here forever last night.
She was. Jenny says, my friend arranges quilts for Syrian children that have been relocated in the UK. I've used the patterned half of my half-metre heavens to add colour to several quilts I've made for her. Do you know, that's the other thing, isn't it? How desperate must you be, you know, to
refugees are just like, and they've come from awful situations to another awful situation to another awful situation before they actually get to a country where they feel safe, and then they have to go through awful processes to try and get to stay here sometimes, and it's just heartbreaking for the children in particular.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, it's all of them, but it's the kids. Yeah. Small scent-filled items like heart cushions are well received in old folks' homes. I make a few that they sell to visitors and residents. I put fiddle ribbons on some. Oh, nice. Yeah. That's nice. Rona even says, my mum and auntie make fiddle muffs for people with dementia.
Yes,
Auntie knits them, then mum sews them up and adds buttons, ribbons, etc. I'd love to do something for them too. I don't really understand fiddle muffs, but I hear it's just to keep... Is there
Some
something
people have cannulas in, and if they've got dementia, they forget what it's for. So this muff goes over and stops them wanting to pull them out. And then they can fiddle with, there's bobblies and there's zips and buttons and things and bits of nice feely ribbon that they can then fiddle with that rather than fiddling with the cannula and in danger of pulling it out.
So Lo, bless her, has missed completely what we're doing. Lo, this was sort of inspired by you and Ali. We're going to do each month we're going to call it Natasha's Passing It Forward project, which isn't about making it money. It's about it basically it's going to go out at cost. And so we'll send you the fabric and a pattern, and we'll all make it together one of the Thursdays, because I've cut my hours at the craft store. Yeah,
and I think it's a nice, as we're starting to sort of get back into our groups and things as well, I think it's a nice project that you could take to your group and say, come on, we can all make this together today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get us all back into to meeting up again, really, as things start to ease slightly.
Yeah.
Which is a lovely thing to do. So on the 2 squares, I've done the diagonal line and I've sewn 1/4 inch either side of that line. And I'm going to cut it in half on the line that I drew. So slightly different from the flying geese, but we're actually cutting on the line on this one. And this will create 2 half square triangles. And we're going to press those open. So I always press it flat first to sort of set the seam, and then gently open it out, and I'm using my iron literally to press it, because it is on a bias, so you don't want to push the iron against it, because that will stretch your seam, which you don't want. So we've now got 4 half square triangles, 2 that are brain's gone dead, D and G, and 2 that are E and F. Okay, so we're going to now arrange those into a spiral, but we need to think about
do you want to have do you want to show us where we're thinking about this on this quilt? Let's have a little look.
It's this one here, and so you can see the half square triangles match up with the triangle part of the flying geese. So the lighter pair you want top and bottom, and then the darker pair at the sides, like so. And then what you'll do is you'll put your half square triangles in so that they match up with your flying geese.
That's so clever. I was sitting here looking at it going, where are the how, how?
So
Nice.
you get like that. So we're going to then join these two together into pairs. And I think it's quite, you know, it's self-explanatory in a way. I try to explain it clearly in the pattern, but when you see it visually, you can see what you're doing. So it's always good to have it on your mat in front of you so that you can keep it all together and just see where you're going. So we're going to sew these two together. So they form a sort of flying goose shape in themselves.
Yeah, Elizabeth says it's just like a complicated jigsaw. It is, and I like it because it's not obvious. This is one of those things that I didn't realise it was a flying. It was a flying geese.
Yeah,
It always sounds weird saying that, but it is a flying geese.
Yes,
thing, and I always want to call it a flying goose, but it's not. It's flying geese.
It's the unit is called a flying geese, and you feel weird because you're talking about a singular piece, but it's using a plural. Yeah, it doesn't sit well with some people. So open those out and press them to one side, and just pop them back into the square, just so that you can see and check that you're still in the right place. And press them, when you're pressing them to one side, press it to the same side on both of them. You can see there, that's still going to sit in there. And then when you join these two together, because you've pressed that one to that side and that one to that side, they'll lock into each other. So you get the points all meeting up nicely.
Yeah, Elizabeth just says the same. I didn't realise there were geese in it. I know. It's a veritable farmyard going on in there, Elizabeth. Nobody had a clue. Nobody had a clue. Oh, Sally, bless you. She said, hi, Natasha. My husband died last year. Well, we're very sorry to hear that. He was in a hospice in Cheltenham. They were brilliant, so kind and helpful to us all. My auntie made knitted cardigans for them to sell, hopefully when we get back to some sort of normality. So she's happy to make some items as well. She says, thank you so much for getting me through some bad times. Hey, look, we just do what we do. And
yeah, I mean, we're very lucky to be able to do what we love to do.
Yeah, and we're very grateful for everyone who's supporting us. You know, it all goes round, doesn't it? That's the ebb and flow of it all.
Yeah.
But
we can do the little twiddle on this because you've got quite a lot of bulk there. So I'm going to just unpick.
Oh, hang on, you want a close up for that, don't you, Jane?
Please. Sorry.
To do your twiddle. I mean, if it wouldn't be a Wednesday without one of your twiddles, would it?
With a twiddle. So I'm unpicking those couple of stitches there that were the seam that carried on through there on both sides. And then when I open that out, I can press one up and one down, and it makes like a little pinwheel in the middle as well, which is quite nice.
I like this little bit of wizardry that you do. It's very
And it
clever.
just helps it all sit nicely in the middle. You can trim off your ears and that will also reduce the bulk, is what I'm trying to say. Put my teeth in properly. So we're going to pop that back on there now so we can see now how that will fit together.
Yeah. Yep.
And we've got little corner squares in our background fabric that we're going to pop in.
That is very clever.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the two squares either side of the flying geese on the top and the bottom, and then I'll sew those flying geese onto the side.
How many of these do we have to make?
Just the one.
Is it just the one?
Just the one.
Oh, nice.
It's sort of like a combination of a sampler quilt and a medallion.
But you know what, Jane? This is
Which
one of
sort of-
those things that, you know, we talk about orphan blocks.
Yeah.
This would make a fabulous orphan block to make up into a cushion or a bag. Or
Yeah. This block on its own at the front of a cushion or a bag. Lovely, isn't it? Or you could make a quilt with just using this block.
Yeah.
You know, you could have quite good fun with the sashing strips in between. I'm going to sew those ones onto there.
Oh, Anne said, on another note, you were asking for ideas. Thought I'd make a couple of things for children's Christmas presents. A hanging thing to put their hair slides in, and a mini art portfolio. A zipped case to put all the kinds of things like crayons and colouring books. that's a good idea.
That's a lovely idea.
Really lovely idea.
Pencil tidy as well is a nice, another nice one that would, you know, 2.5 meters of fabric would make that lovely.
Well, that's, you know, that's what we thought. We'll make it really, we'll make them simple and easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Susie
They're the
said,
sort
my
of thing
grandson
that-
is confused. Those flying geese look nothing like the ones that we've just seen at the park. No, they won't,
It's the
Susie.
shape.
They
It's
won't.
the shape. It's an
Susie knows
American
that.
thing.
It's our Susie.
Yeah. Bless you. You can explain then why it's called a
Yeah,
flying geese. You know that.
yeah. You tell that boy. You explain to that boy. Hang on, Margaret said. What did she say? She said if it was if it had been named in this country, it would have been a skein of geese.
A skein of geese. Is that what our collective noun is?
Well,
then?
you know, how do they get named like threads? I thought it was a gaggle of geese. But then is it different when they're in flight?
In flight, possibly.
When they make that lovely V shape to make the most of the aerodynamics and all that malarkey.
Yes, I feel like they've only just arrived, and before we know it, we'll be seeing them flying back again.
I know.
It's another thing with these shortening days.
What I really miss here that we used to have in Cornwall, we used to see, I think it was the starlings, you know, the murmurations where
Yes.
they fly in the most incredible formations.
My mum's got rooks by her, and they do it as well.
Do they?
Yeah, we've got quite a lot of rooks because there's quite a lot of little like bits of wood, little coppices and stuff, and they all congregate at night and they do it. Make a right din.
Yeah, I bet they do. I bet they do. Oh, Susie says he's more interested in his lunch.
That'd be
Sorry,
right.
Jane. But she's
That'd be
watching.
right.
Susie's watching. I mean, to be fair, if you're hungry, you're hungry.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Okay, so a gaggle on the ground and a skein in the sky.
that's easy to remember, isn't it?
Skein in the sky.
Sky.
Oh, there we go. And PT, thank you, PT, for we did drop you in that massively. The month 1 of the Pay It Forward project is now live on the website and at the top of today's collection. There you go. So if you want to get involved, when you get your order and you've got a random pattern and some random fabric in there, you'll be like, I didn't order. No, you did.
What is this?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah,
So-
you did.
We've got 3 rows now, so we're going to sew the 3 rows together. And again, I've pressed the middle flying geese, I've pressed those towards the middle, and then I've pressed these ones out so that when I lay those on top, the seams will nestle. And you've also got your sort of X marks the spot here, so if you make sure your seam line runs just above that, you won't lose the point of your triangle.
Yeah, Gemma says that we can always rely on Margaret to know these things. What I want to know is, do you just have just an enormous wealth of knowledge, or are you the fastest fingers on Google? That's what I want to know.
I think
she's a woman of the countryside and knows these things.
Yeah, I think she knows these things, and I'm thinking that maybe she might be from a teaching background.
I don't know, but she said her Aunt Nellie kept geese.
Oh.
I know certainly there's farming in her family. You see, this is it, like,
But you see,
we know Margaret, but we don't know Margaret.
No,
And it's one of these
It's
really
lovely, isn't
weird
But-
things.
you know, my mum knows all the collective nouns for things. It was something that we were never taught at school.
Oh,
I
see,
learned
we-
some of
yeah,
them
we-
from my nana because she was a teacher and she
Yeah.
would have taught my mum's generation. But like, we weren't really taught collective nouns and stuff. And it's fascinating, you know, murder of crows, parliament of owls, all of those sort of things. And I love it. And I was like, who came up with that?
I don't know, but it's great.
Brilliant. It's lovely.
It is great. Which one is the murder one? The
Murder of crows.
You see, I don't know why it is a murder of crows, because it's the rooks, isn't it, at the Tower of London? That if the rooks leave,
Yes.
then something bad
Ravens.
happens. Oh, is it
are-
ravens?
Ravens at the Tower of London. Yeah, ravens are the biggest of the
Of the black scary
family,
bird
the
department.
crow family. Rooks, crows, and then rooks are the smallest, crows, and then ravens. I think it works.
We've got one of those in our trees. We're surrounded by trees here, and we've got buzzards, and it's
Yes.
really interesting watching the buzzards circling, trying to get the eggs.
Yeah.
Or the
Do your
chicks.
crows
They
dive on them?
chase. Yeah, they chase.
Yeah.
And you'll get several of them chase because they obviously live in a murder or whatever they're living in. Families, yeah. And they chase them. Freddie and I spend hours watching.
It's fascinating,
watching
isn't
the
it?
buzzards being dive bombed by these
crows,
birds.
yeah.
It's incredible.
And
Anyway.
our next door, but one neighbour, he works with a gamekeeper sometimes.
Yeah.
And he said to me, he said, you watch the buzzard and it will flip itself upside down and put its claws up to protect itself. And he showed, they were doing it over our house and he was watching them and he gave me his binoculars and said, watch. And they flip themselves upside down with their feet up to protect themselves. It was fascinating.
That is amazing. We this year I haven't mowed. We've got like our immediate garden, and then we've got like an orchard and a top lawn. It's a funny old set out, but I haven't mowed the orchard, and I didn't mow through June. I did no mow.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was no mow May, wasn't it? I didn't mow through May, and it's for the bees. Great excuse. And then also, now that I haven't mown through the orchard and the top lawn, I see all the tracks, and I watch the fox come through his tracks.
Yeah.
Down past my ducks. Don't like that so much.
No. Hold your breath.
And we've got deer that go through, and muntjac and
Really?
all sorts. But I see their things now. So now I've mown their pathway for them, so they can walk through more easily.
Lovely.
Although I'm probably thinking about it, just taken their cover away, so they probably won't thank me at all. Lo says a conspiracy of lemurs. They do conspire. I bet they do conspire.
Yeah,
I bet they
bound
do. Oh, hang on. Where did all this lot come from?
We've got a load of...
Oh, nice.
So that's the block done, and now we're going to put the frame on. So we've got our rectangular pieces of background fabric, and then this is fabric E, and we're going to put the corners in. So it makes a frame. If we go to the big quilt, it makes a frame around the quilt, which again adds to the pattern here that gives that effect going through.
Oh, it's funny, isn't it? Because it does it. Yeah, that's clever. So that's very clever.
We're going to sew the squares onto the end of the rectangles, either end. And again, it's like making the 9 patch again. It's adding, you do 3 rows and you add and sew the rows together.
An obstinacy of buffaloes, said Lo.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
that's fabulous.
That works, doesn't it?
And you just know why they're called that. You just know it. Claire just says, collective nouns are weird. Yeah, but I do love them.
There's something about them, isn't there?
Yeah. It used to be the sort of thing that we'd be given a worksheet on when a supply teacher came for English.
Yeah.
That used to be the sort of thing.
The fallback.
When I first started teaching, I only taught supply, and so I was always grateful for a good sheet. That's for sure. A cackle of sewists. I don't know if that's right, Lo, but I kind of want it to be.
Yeah.
I have no idea, and if it isn't, then we should make it so. I mean, and all of these things are only by number agreement, aren't they? That's only why when you go to like traffic lights, it's only because we've all agreed that red is going to mean stop and green mean go. They're just colours, but it's only because enough people have agreed that that'll be so. So yeah, we should therefore
be a cackle of sewers. Some people might take offence to that, but yeah.
But a get out Of My Sewing Room of sewists.
Get off moustache.
Steady.
So I'm going to put the other rectangles to the side of the block, and I'm going to sew those down there as well.
Nice. Rona says that she didn't cut the grass round because of her bees either, much to her neighbour's disgust. Well, do you know what?
We've got lots of lovely clover on our grass, and I said to Glenn, I said, just leave it. So he sowed around the clover.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sowed around the clover,
Yeah.
mowed around the clover.
My mum had a panic because her lavender bush wasn't full of bees this year,
Oh,
and she was really worried that the farmer had sprayed something and killed all the bees.
oh no.
But then she was talking to the local owl man, and he said that no, one of the hives at the farm had failed this year,
Oh.
and that must have been the ones that came to her lavender, because his garden was absolutely full. A thread of sowists. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Margaret's not a teacher. Oh, I got that wrong.
Oh.
Worked 40 years in IT, back when it was called computers.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I think we've got her full CV here. Although I did 5 years as a trainer, I have a fairly good memory, almost photographic. It had to be something, didn't
Yes,
it? Because you
something like
always
that. She's
know,
got
which
that
is great.
Wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, I was a pub quizzer, super sub in my husband's pub quiz team. We went a whole year never losing when I played, I bet. Went to the regional final and husband dropped me. So I told him I would have to drink so he could drive. I think that's fine.
Yeah,
I think that's
fair
absolutely
enough.
fair.
Absolutely.
Do you know what, Margaret? If you and my husband were on a pub quiz team, you'd be unbeatable. He actually were. You know, Stephen's done eggheads and won.
Has he?
Did you not know that?
No.
So my husband comes across as being quite shy sometimes.
Yes.
And until you know him. But yeah, he does love a good pub quiz. And yet he puts himself forward for all these quiz shows.
He's a man of few words, but what he does say is quite,
To the point.
to the point and direct, but interesting as well, because I've heard him, have said something and he's contributed, and it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, until it's sport, and then I just switch off, to be fair. But no, he did. He won eggheads. What else did he do?
He did the radio one, didn't he? When we were all shouting the answers to him.
Oh,
He was in the kitchen, and we were in the.
And he just puts
cutting.
himself up for these things. He's won all sorts doing radio quizzes. It's like nobody ever does radio quizzes. He's won a holiday, a washing machine, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Just one of those people that does those sorts of things. He did time commanders at one stage. Cash cabs. What else has he done? Tipping point.
Tipping point. I love tipping point.
He's done all sorts of things. Lo says that if people are offended by her sewing comment, she said if you give them enough gin, she said they stop being snowflakes.
Yeah.
Someone put up the other day, they just wish that we could all watch the old programmes that we're used to, and this generation not be offended, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Elizabeth left the clover as well. I'm keeping it in the border when I put my design down. Oh yeah, you've got a whole new garden to design, haven't you? Fabulous. A group of seam rippers.
Yes.
Do you know what, Laurie? That's more like it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Myra says it should be a quilt of sewists.
Quilt of sewists.
Yeah, we all make up to one big blanket. Oh, I like that idea. I really like that idea.
Peacemakers.
Yes.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall make quilts.
Yes. Yes. We'll have that. Absolutely. Claire got through to the audition rounds of The Chase.
Oh, cool. I love The Chase.
Gemma keeps saying that. I think that's the one Gemma keeps saying.
There we go.
Oh,
Ta-da!
is it done already?
That's the black dome.
Oh my goodness!
Half
that's
triangles
pretty.
and flying geese, and it gives you a nice variation. It's called a Sawtooth star variation. So you've got a variation there of a colour that just gives something else for you to look at visually.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Is there enough in their kit to make up another one?
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
Quite possibly.
'Cause
you
I
might need a
want a
bit more
bag.
of your background fabric, but yeah.
No, that's all right. So yeah, that's white actually, and that one it's just white, isn't it? Plain white, that one.
Yeah.
Because I would quite like that in a bag. Now then, let's see. Cass says, my dad can't remember my birthday, but does know the speed of light in miles per second. It is amazing what
because
people
he was
remember.
probably taught that by rote, is it called, as a child. My mum will tell you how many inches there are in a mile, and all of that.
All that sort of thing. Yeah.
How many miles there are in a furlong, and all. Yeah.
all
She
that
knows
sort
all
of thing.
that.
PT says, I've never felt more dim than when I went to a pub quiz with Natasha and Stephen. He knew the answers before we'd even worked out what each question meant. Stephen should be a chaser. Look, Gemma, here's the thing. You know, he's the pub quizzer, not me.
Yeah.
I just sit there. I do the animal ones and biology ones,
I love
and
a
that's
pub
all
quiz.
I do.
I love a quiz.
And drink. That's that's the bit I do.
Good excuse.
But my goodness me, when it comes to the music round, he's straight in there.
Yeah.
Laurie, we do. She said we already have Natasha's strippers because of Creative Grids.
We do.
We still need to get pin badges made for those,
Yeah.
don't
yeah,
we?
Definitely.
It might just be a hat.
You can leave your hat on.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly that. Ah, you lot have been amazing today. Thank you so much, Jane. You have also been amazing
Shall
today.
we have a look at what we're going to do next week?
Oh yes. Oh, I love your show and tells. Come on.
Here we go. This is a beautiful Lisa Chandler pattern, which we've used in cave fabric.
We did check with Lisa. Like Lisa has always said that her patterns work just as well in cave as they do with her own fabrics.
Yeah.
She's a big cave fan too. So we happened to find this particular, I think it's shaggy, isn't it? Shaggy
Yes.
natural. And it's just beautiful. But the nice thing is, so these are origami middly bits,
Look.
and you can put your tea lights in there. Not
do a bit of
like
fabric folding.
flame
And you
ones.
know, this is such fun. Lisa does warn you in her pattern that it's contagious. And she's
Okay.
right. Because once you've made it, you're like, oh, I can do lots of this.
Absolutely, absolutely. You see, I could imagine that on our table, and Freddie would put like condiments
Yes.
in the middle of that.
Well, you know, if you've got candles, you could just put a little.
Well, that's just
Particularly now, because you can get battery-powered candles, can't
Yeah.
you?
Yep, perfect. Should we get some to put on the show?
I think we should. I think
Right
we
then.
should. Be rude not to.
Job done.
So yeah, that's what we're going to do next week.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. So Lisa, this is your pattern, reimagined in a different colourway. And yes, we'll do that. So, Jane, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And for all of you that are, Steve said, I'm amazed nobody has suggested a patch of quilters. Well, you have, Steve. We didn't
There
need
we
to
are,
because
patch of
you then had
quilters.
your moment.
That's it.
And Laurie has put in shouty capitals. Oh, Jane, that's gorgeous.
It's Lisa's pattern, which is gorgeous. The colour, we've chose the colours together. It was a collaboration, and it's come together beautifully.
Lowe's final offering for the group of sewists is the Go Feed Yourself, I'm Sewing group of sewists.
Yes, that's
We've all had
definitely.
that one.
Yeah, look after yourselves, I'm sewing.
Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. Yeah, Margaret. 8 furlongs in a mile. 222 yards in a furlong. 22 yards between the stumps in cricket.
Yeah, that's you and my mum will get on well, Margaret.
The table runner is gorgeous. Darn, the table is round, or my table is round or oval. But that's
Yeah.
all
Well,
right.
you could put 4. You could make 4 or 6 and make it so it fits in a
There's always a way.
square shape, so it fits in the middle.
There we go. Perfect. 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 Righty ho. So Gemma has loaded the pay it forward month 1. So when you get something unidentified in your order, you know what it is.
Yeah.
And we'll get SJ when she's off. She's off somewhere, isn't she, this weekend? Don't know where she's going. Somewhere nice.
Somewhere lovely. I'm off somewhere even nicer.
You are. Would you like to tell everyone? Would you like to share?
I'm going to a wedding.
Not
I'm
just
going
any
to a
old
wedding.
wedding.
Not any wedding. My son's wedding.
You are mother of the groom.
I'm mother of the groom. Yes, I'm so excited. I've got to make the wedding cake first, though. That's just.
So
giving me a
hang
bit-
on, hang on. What is this weekend, Jane?
Yeah, no, but it's a sponge. They want sponges.
Oh, it's not a fruit. I was going to say, should it have been
no,
like
if it had been
6
a
months
fruit
ago?
cake, it'd have been done by now. But no, it's a sponge, so it needs to be done.
Wow.
Yeah. Once I've got that done, I'll be fine.
Then you can relax.
Yeah.
So no crazy cornering then on the drive down to the
No,
wedding?
it's very sedate driving.
Yeah. When there's like 3 mile tailbacks on the motorway, you know that
Yeah.
it's Jane taking a cake to her son's wedding.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, do you know what Elizabeth said? Golly, that went quick. It did, didn't it?
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
just
normal
fine.
timings.
Yeah. But it's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, like I say, enjoy the rest of your week. Where am I tomorrow, Jane? Craft store, aren't I?
Yeah, craft storing tomorrow.
Yeah. And that will be my one show done that month.
Yeah.
My one day of shows that month. And
What
then,
are you
and
doing
then
on Monday? Do you know?
Monday, I think, will be, I'm going to have a look. We haven't done creative grids for a while.
Yeah.
And so we're going to revisit a few creative grids, but we're also going to have a jolly good rummage around some CAFE.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do on Monday, because
Yeah.
CAFE and creative grids, quite frankly, go hand in
together.
hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to find some more delightful duos as well for you,
Wonderful.
because that should be a thing, unless
That's
I change
such a
my mind
hard thing
completely.
to work with,
yeah,
isn't it? It's like awful.
yeah, and think of something else. So there will be
Delightful things on Monday.
Delightful
That sounds
things
of it, yeah.
on Monday. Yes, yes,
Lovely.
yes. And Myra would like to see pictures, I think of you, but also of the cake. By the sound, oh no, she wants you to save a piece of the cake.
I don't think there'll be much left, to be honest.
That ain't gonna happen. No, I'll tell you that now. Emily has worked out that it's my birthday next, and she's already planning the cake, because
I think we'll be having pink dinosaurs again.
would imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Emily might end up being a party planner or something.
That would suit her to the
Do you know,
ground.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, she got me sorting out jewellery this morning.
Oh, did she?
Yes. It was tangled up. Can you untangle? Not untangle. She didn't use the word untangle. Unmess this, she said. Can you unmess this? Because it was in a mess. So she wanted me to unmess it.
Could you do the rest of the house as well, please, Jane? That would be amazing. I'd love anyone to come and unmess my house. Yeah, everyone's saying they need photos. Have a wonderful time. Hang on, Julia. Whoa. Stop, hang on. We were about to go, but I now need to know more. Julia, hopefully I'll have puppies by Monday.
Ooh.
What sort of puppies?
Oh, we need to know. Come on.
And you know that Elizabeth will be
beans.
round.
Yeah, she'll be there.
She'll be there. She'll do the night shift for you.
Oh,
It'll be amazing. Yeah, we all need to see photos. There we go.
lovely.
Oh, hang on. PT said, I asked Emily what type of cake Mummy needed for her birthday. Apparently it's a wedding cake. Oh, yeah, she did say I needed a
lovely.
wedding cake
She
for
needed
my
it in
birthday.
tears. Fabulous.
I'd forgotten that. Yeah. And Sue pointed out that Party Planner didn't do the Middletons any harm.
No, this is true.
Yeah.
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 Bag herself a prince at the same time.
Do you know, God, she'd organise them. Could you imagine? Could you imagine her rocking up into anything royal? I'd almost feel sorry for them. She'd sort them out, wouldn't she?
Sort them out. Good and proper.
But you're right.
Bless her.
I'd forgotten they were. Yes, Common Kate and the Party Planners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, we've called her some horrible things, haven't we?
She's
Well, the
beautiful.
Press. She is. She's stunning, isn't she? Absolutely
She's a lovely
stunning.
lady, yeah.
Righty ho. Have a fantastic time, Jane.
I will, thank you.
And yes, enjoy that. And thank you everybody for watching this morning.
Yeah.
Myra's just put puppies. Oh, Samoyed. Day 63 is Sunday. Oh yeah, so it's day 63, day 64.
Samoyed.
That should.
What are they like?
I'll find you a photo. Yeah, we'll
I
Google
like
it.
the name, I like that word,
Yeah.
Samoyed. Yeah.
No, they're quite lovely looking dogs.
Cool.
Oh, exciting. Alrighty then. We'll need photos of that then, please, Julia. Take care, everybody. We will see
Stay
you on
safe.
Monday. Bye.